All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. I have two amazingly special guests with me here today. I have Kenny and Karina, and Kenny and Karina are both in the photography industry, and I was introduced to them from them being in my program, The Business Blueprint, and they've just shared a little bit of their story in our Facebook group and student wins, and so I wanted to bring them on to tell a little bit further what's been going on in their lives in the past year or so, or the past 2 years. So Kenny and Karina, welcome you guys. And I'd love it if you could just start us off by introducing yourselves. Tell us where you're from, where you're located, what kind of work you do, and how long you guys have been doing it for.
Cool. Well, I'm Kenny.
I'm Karina.
Yeah, we're our duo is called Goose and Rose Imagery. We've been doing this together for a couple of years. She's been at it for almost 9 years.
Wow.
We are wedding photographers. We do couples photography as well, and we're located in Southern Ohio, but we're based out of Columbus.
So cool. And so Karina, you've been doing it for 9 years. When did you join, Kenny?
I joined a couple of years ago. She thought it would be so cool to be a duo because you see so many duos out there now.
Totally.
And when we first got married, we worked at a coffee shop. I know some couples, they try to stay away from working together, but I think we work well together 99% of the time. So I decided to jump on board and learn videography and photography.
Absolutely. So you do photo and video as well?
Yes.
Yes.
So does one of you do photo, one of you do video, or do you both do both?
Yeah. So we started off with the plan was for Kenny to do video and then for me to do photo, and then we kind of started sharing both of the aspects. I am too nervous to set up tripods and be in charge of audio and stuff for a ceremony, so that's his job, and you'll never see me flying a drone, never ever. But I really do like the cinematic part of videography and also like the artistry of photography because that's where I started. But you've been really enjoying photography as well.
Yeah. I've been enjoying the photography part, and so we use them interchangeably, but we started off pretty traditional. She did photo, I did video.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit of background on your story. What has the past couple years looked like for you guys? I'd just love to know, like, what in the first place intrigued you or interested you about the Business Blueprint and eventually brought you inside?
Cool. Well, our story goes back a couple years ago. We actually were living basically paycheck to paycheck. We were really just surviving, and we actually ended up having to move in with some family because we just couldn't sustain ourselves. We were pregnant with our second child, and very stressful. And so we had a lot of different side hustles we tried to get going on. She still offered photography, but we weren't very consistent with it at all. She wasn't consistent with it. And I think really when we got married, she was kind of also burnt out, and kind of put it on the back burner for a while. And so we actually ended up moving out, getting our own place. So budget was extremely tight. And I was working a couple of different jobs. We're like, okay, so what can we really commit to? And, she had someone reach out for a wedding a few months prior to that, and it went really well. And she's like, she actually found your podcast that spring that we got our own place. And she was like, I think we can do this for real. And she just really started digesting everything and taking it all in. And she's like, Kenny, he actually has a coaching course. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I know, but if we just get another few sales or, things start to turn around for us, maybe we'll get a breakthrough, then we'll buy it.
Yep.
And I actually started listening to your podcast, and I heard something, and I realized I had it backwards. What I had backwards was that I was expecting clients to invest in a business that we ourselves weren't willing to invest in first.
Wow.
And I thought, yeah, we certainly have this backwards. And so we kept pushing, and we were getting bookings and taking in all the free content we could. And we were only selling at 40% off of already cheap prices. And we're like, we're having success, but we just can't make this sustainable, always being 40% off.
Yeah.
And it was getting so exhausting for the both of us. And, her mental health was kind of going downhill because she was trying to figure out how to grow the business while I was working a couple of jobs while also trying to raise children.
Yeah,
and
it's a lot.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was.
it was. And back in May, I just kind of thought, you know, I keep telling myself that we need to make the initial investment and go in on this. And I really felt like when you're an entrepreneur, you have to bet on yourself a little bit and roll
Yes,
the dice.
that's right.
And that's exactly what we did. So we purchased the business blueprint while we were at we're actually
We were on
driving
our way
home.
home from a destination wedding.
Yeah,
Wow.
destination wedding and Rocky Mountain National Park. And we just like were waiting for it to open. I was like, we're gonna do this as soon as it opens, and we did. And after about a week of going through this, I was like, we have the artistry. I feel really well equipped with skills.
Hmm.
After purchasing this, I was like, I'm just gonna resign from my job. This has to work
Hmm.
because she can't do this on her own. I'm already juggling a lot. I was like,
Yep.
this is gonna work. I feel very confident in this, and that's when we rolled the dice and we jumped in full time after purchasing your course. So yeah,
Wow. And at this time again, you were working a full-time job,
yes,
Kenny, and it was just probably in a situation where you're like, "Hey, I can't even dedicate the time that's needed to grow this business. Like even if I have that blueprint, I can't even put the time in
yep,
to execute on it and then see the results of it." And so
exactly.
I mean, it's like a huge risk you took, both investing in the program, but then also investing your time in your business. But in the end, I think it paid off for you. And I think it's really cool that you mentioned all of that because a lot of times, people just want to talk about how do you get to the goal? Let's just talk about the goal. Let's just talk about the result. Let's just talk about the win. Let's just talk about getting there. But there are a series often of very difficult decisions that have to be made prior to that. And oftentimes it doesn't look like this super safe bet. Like a lot of times it feels scary and it feels like this is a little crazy. But I do think that's part of the entrepreneurial journey is like you have to be willing to be a little bit more off cuff and a little bit more risk taking than maybe the average corporate junkie who just works for the man or whatever. And so I think it's really important that you said all of those things. Was there a moment where you felt like, I guess, because I always like to ask people, was there a moment where you're like, we we have a crossroads here, like we can either do this or we can do this, but if we stay where we're at, like it's not going to get any better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like on that trip we just we talked a lot about like what if you stay at your job for the next like 5 years, like where could we have put the effort into our business, you know? And so I feel like for us the thought of not quitting his job and not putting effort into our business was scarier than him
Mm,
staying because
wow.
we
Yep.
just thought like what if we don't do it, you know?
Mm,
Yeah, there was
yeah.
so much more to lose by staying exactly where we were
Yeah.
at.
Mm,
And I also heard this it was actually one of your episodes, and you were interviewing someone who actually had just recently left their full-time job, and well, she had put in her 2 weeks, and you mentioned that a lot of us think that we have a paycheck guaranteed every 2 weeks.
mm-hmm.
Well, reality is we don't.
Right.
A company can decide to move on from us at any time.
That's right.
And, the beautiful thing about being an entrepreneur is you wake up and you choose your fate every
Yeah.
day.
And I
Yep.
think that scared us because we were like, we're going to make sure that we're going to feed our family, but is the big guy going to really, care about that?
Exactly. Yep. Absolutely. It's like nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
nothing is guaranteed. The only thing that can be guaranteed when you're an entrepreneur is that you wake up and again, you can like make your own money and you can make your own
100%.
decisions. And to me, that always, I know for some people that stresses them out, but for me, for whatever reason, maybe this is just like being built as an entrepreneur like you guys. It's just that to me feels so much more in control than just giving up that control to just anybody else and some employer. So what would you say? Like you joined you joined the business blueprint at that point, maybe you started implementing things. Was there any missing pieces, or was there anything that you felt like made a huge, significant difference, or maybe it was a series of different things?
Yeah. I would say artistry wise,
One
I would.
second, you guys, I just lost you.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Oh, there we go. Okay, you can dive right back into that
Okay. Yeah. No,
answer.
of course. Yeah. So, I mean, artistry wise, I felt like there weren't any missing pieces, but I would say business wise, there wasn't a fountain piece.
No.
We had no clue what we were doing. And I mean, just our website, it was pretty. It wasn't set up to convert. And you touched on paid advertising, which we had tried a lot in the past, and in one of your episodes. And going through the course, and you realize, you can pay for all the ads you want to pay for, but if you don't have a business that's set up to convert, and manage leads, market correctly, that kind of thing, you're kind of just throwing your money away.
Yeah.
And so we started to implement, just a client management system was really helpful. Setting up our website, we have that bulletproof website now, and yeah, knowing how to market our social media. And I'd say really another big thing that a lot of people maybe wouldn't say that has helped me is just having the nerve to be unreasonable.
Hmm.
And you teach that, and it's like, just
Tell me what you mean by that.
Oh, well, I specifically very vividly remember listening to a part of the course, and you were like, if you're thinking, no, he wouldn't want me to do that. Yes, I want you to do that. And just being willing to do what most people aren't willing to do for whatever reason. Yeah, I mean, between that and just, yeah, I mean, everything really just laid the foundation. We had the artistry, but we didn't know what to do with it. And
Yep.
we knew we had the artistry because our clients were so satisfied when we could find them, when they would actually book with us, when they actually had the experience with us and trusted us, then they were satisfied. But, we couldn't achieve that without, knowing the business side of things.
Yep, absolutely. And it's really cool and discouraging to know that your artistry is at a good place, but not bringing in what you want to bring in, because you're on the one hand looking at it from the perspective of, I know I have something amazing to give to people, and
Yes.
I know I am really proud of what I do, but then I can't get it over to people because people don't know me and people don't know I exist, and there's not enough people that are interested. And so it's like this tricky situation where you have a great thing, you just can't get it out there. And I do like when people get philosophically upset by that, because that had to happen to me when I was in that exact same position years ago, where I was like, I know I have a good thing, I know I can serve people well, but I just can't get the people to see it. And so then it was this mission for me that I need to somehow find a way to get this amazing thing that I can offer people in their hands, and to get it in front of their eyes at the very least. And I just love that you said that, because that's where a lot of creatives find themselves. They have something that's so good, and they're just not finding people the people that are out there that would love it. They just don't even know they exist. And what's also sad too, is there's somebody else out there who oftentimes has a lot less talent than you, and they just know how to do the business part better, and they're just
Yeah.
beating you. They're just eating your lunch, and it's just like, it's just like this philosophical issue. And I also love that you said you said unreasonable, and I love that word, because I think in so many senses we need to look at situations like that where maybe our art is really good, but our business isn't good, and be like, okay, how can I make it unreasonable that my art would not get seen? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
like somehow do everything in my power so that if I were to look back at it and say, yeah, there's no way, like, people are gonna find us. Like, I've done so much to the point where people are going to find us. And oftentimes in the end, that's exactly what happens. They find you. So I love that you guys said that. Anything else, even Karina, from your perspective, like during this time, what might have happened for you, either internally or externally, things that changed the game for you guys?
Well, I really do appreciate how, the back end of things of the business we didn't know anything on how to do any of that at all.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of that stuff was a little bit over my head. So I'm so appreciative that Kenny knows how to do those certain things. Because it's really just helped me just to be able to be more of the artist, while also still being mama at home
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So it's been a really big blessing.
Yep.
So cool. So cool. I absolutely love it. So I would love to know what's the and so of all this, and how has this impacted you guys, whether it's like financially or in your bookings? Give us any sort of, this is where we were, this is where we are now, whether it's like your income, whether it's how many inquiries you get, whether it's how many bookings you have, or just what you love, what different things like that.
Yeah, so it's flipped our life upside down. Still doesn't feel real, for one.
Hmm.
For two, I'd say the biggest thing that makes us feel rich isn't the money. We actually, since May, we have done multi six figures. We
Wow.
fully booked out the rest of 2025. We were almost
Wow.
fully booked out for 2026. We're booking 2027. It's
Wow.
amazing. Like, I mean, we were getting, if we got a lead, it was like, okay, we got to do everything we can to convert this lead, even if it's
Yeah.
not our ideal client. We need this.
Yeah.
And now it's, we can make sure that we're the right fit so that
Mm.
we're satisfied, our clients are satisfied with what they're looking for as well. And so that, yeah. And I think what's made us feel rich, though, most of all, is the time. So we talk about this a lot, and, we've multiplied our prices times five, which is crazy. And we didn't have
By
the confidence.
5?
Five times, yes.
Oh my goodness.
And
Wow.
we did that by adding value to our packages, like we
Yeah.
want our clients to have that value. And the crazy part is I did the math. So, what we make, and I should say we're gone for 10 hours. We're away from home for 10 hours for most
Mhm.
of our weddings. To make that same amount of money would have costed us 340 hours of me being away from my family at my job. And so that's unbelievable, and
Unreal.
yeah, so that's what makes us feel most rich from all this, is that we're actually able to feel like more of a family instead of just stretched thin, not being able to be there for each other, our kids.
Yeah,
And
especially because when we had our daughter, he was working. Our daughter is our oldest, but you were working two jobs when she was born, so you missed so much of her
yeah,
life. He missed a good portion of our son's life as well because he was working so many jobs, and now we have this little one, and
yeah,
you're actually able to, be there for every single milestone.
Wow.
yeah, rather than door dashing away all of my extra free time,
Yeah.
at most, really, I'd be gone away from home, or we would be gone away from home for 10 to maybe 12 hours. So that's been really transformational, rather than spending 340 hours just to make, the same thing.
Wow.
So,
I'm
yeah.
like blown away.
Yes.
I'm absolutely blown away. I mean, I love so much the fact that you are now there for your family so much more, Kenny, and the fact that you guys can feel like you have more of a family unit instead of just feeling like frantic and like I got to do I got to do this, I got to do this, and just having that peace back in your home. That is absolutely huge.
100%.
I also love that you've been able to like scale your income as well. And what were you even doing before this, if you know?
You mean like vocationally?
No, like how much was
Oh,
the photography business even bringing
gotcha.
in?
Well, I mean, I'll say this. Last year, I know most of our money came from the fourth quarter because we were running all these sales, just trying to get bookings,
Yeah.
and we ended up doing about 30,000, which sounds like a lot, but we lost a lot of time
Hmm.
for a little bit of money, and
Yeah.
we actually had a record month in September, and we did 35,000 just in September.
This year?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So
35,000 just in September. So this year we're creeping up on, I want to say around 202,000. So
oh my
going
goodness.
from 30 to 202 is such a huge jump.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
word. Wow. This is wild. It is so crazy because I know when you posted something in our Facebook group, like you shared some good details, but it wasn't like all of this. So this is the first time I'm hearing all of this as well. And I'm kind of like, what? How in the world? Like I'm like sweating. I'm like this is insane.
I know.
Wow, you guys, this is so cool. Like I'm so proud of you guys and I'm absolutely blown away. What what were some of the things for you that you can look back on and say, this really made a huge difference in causing a lot of this change in our business? Because you said you had a lot of the art figured out, but it was that business component that you felt like really wasn't. Like, what exactly was it? If you can think of some of the highlights that you were like, this changed the game for us.
I'd say definitely being able to have you come and help with some of the things that I'm not the best in. And then you learning all that stuff from the business blueprint because we were just kind of lost.
Yeah.
We didn't know where to even begin at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and I would say just having like good systems in place. So,
Hmm.
we would just reply to people when we could get to them,
Totally.
and we didn't really like have a direction we were headed. It was kind of just like, let's put all of our effort into trying to book them however that looks.
Hmm.
And instead now we kind of have like a routine. We're able to give our clients a lot of value as well. Just, with guides, like style guides and, wedding guides, being able to like really understand the importance of holding their hand through the process, whether it be like curating timeline,
Yeah.
and just having the expertise. And yeah, I mean, I would say really just a lot of, if you're smart, you understand how important your time is and how you really just can't get it back. And so, just setting up yourself for success by having systems in place,
Yeah.
whether that be automations or just, I mean, really just knowing what you're going to do, going into every single lead with a plan, every single post with a plan of where this is headed, just having that sense of direction and knowing what you're going to do next.
I think it's so huge to be in a position where you're not just guessing and you actually
Yes.
know something that's like proven out and that's
Yeah.
it's gotten results for other people, and you're like, I don't have to sit here and think about, should I do this? Should
Yep.
I do that? Because in the grand scheme of things, when we look at our businesses, when we look at a certain task, there's so many different options that we have. And it's not even that like, okay, I don't know exactly what could work. I don't know like I don't know which, like how to do anything. It's just, I need to know how to distinguish between what I should do and what isn't worth my time. And I
Yep.
think for so many people, that's the missing link for them. It's that like, hey, it's not that like I can think of somebody listening because I've been in these shoes. It's like, it's not that you're just ignorant and you don't know anything. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like, it's not
Right.
that, like, we all know a little bit. We all know how to do certain things and we all know how to like troubleshoot our way there. But a lot of it is, hey, if you were given a clean system where you didn't have to guess if it would
Yep.
work, and you could just say, I'm going to put my limited time that I have towards this and I'm going to go all in on it. And I have the
Yep.
confidence that this is going to work. And then once I'm done, I can shut the laptop and move on with my day. And to me, that's like power in business, to not just guess and to question of all the different things that could be, but just to be like, I know what is the one thing that I should be doing, and I'm just going to focus on that. Do you know what I'm saying by that?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I mean, something else that people don't talk about, the importance of is really just mindset. Just a big thing that you say is, don't wait until you're that, selling the big packages to start acting like you're selling big packages.
Yeah.
Don't wait until you're having high-end weddings, start acting like you're going to
That's
high-end
right.
wedding. Just having that mindset and confidence to like start doing what you hope to be now. And that mindset shift was really huge for me because I just felt like I needed to, I'm not there yet. When I get there, I'll do it. When I get there, I'll do it. Well,
Yeah.
it's like,
Let me
I'm
dig
never
into
gonna
that a
get
little
there
bit
if I
more.
don't do it.
Let me dig into that a little more because
Yeah.
I love what you're saying. Practically speaking, what does that look like when you say don't wait until you're there, but just like do that now?
Yeah, so a big part of it would be, start treating your, maybe your $3,000 weddings like they're $10,000 weddings. Like if you were to book a $10,000 wedding, what would you do different? Oh, there, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, no. So if you were to book a $10,000 wedding, think about what you would do differently with that client.
Yeah.
And start doing that for your clients now.
Totally.
Like to change that experience. It really is. It sounds like $1 million idea, but it's really simple, right?
Absolutely. Well, it's
So-
hard to do though. It's really hard to do because you're like, I'm not getting paid for this 3,000, or it's like, I don't want to get a CRM set up because I want to do that once I'm making that kind of money, or I don't want to deliver my galleries in this type of a format because that's too expensive for me right now. I'm going to wait until I get paid that much to warrant that price. And it's like,
Yeah.
the problem is though, when you create a business, you really want to put in the money up front so that when you go to sell it, you have something already established. And yes, that does create a little bit of risk on the front end, being like, well, I'm investing before I'm getting the money out. But that's with any investment. I mean, you go to the stock market and you invest in something, you have to give up some money for risk, and then you get it back on the way out. But
Yep,
you don't
yep.
get it back like right off the beginning, and you have to put up that. And even I think, to me, it's like lifestyle as well. It's like, I can oftentimes think to myself, I used to think this to myself, I'm going to put in this many hours, and into my work, and I'm gonna be fine with being distracted. Like I'm gonna open my phone every 5 minutes, and I'm gonna just
Yeah.
like waltz downstairs, grab a snack every 10 minutes, and just like whatever. But then it's like, if I was really running a business of my goals, like I would have to be much more disciplined with my time. And if I wanted to run that business and have time later on in the day for my family uninterrupted, then I got to be disciplined with my time. And so I have to set those things up before I see the result of them. And that's how I get
Yeah.
the result in the end. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And, it really does go back to that part at the beginning where I talked about just like you're trying, it doesn't make sense that you're trying to explain to a client why your business is worth investing in when you haven't done it yourself. Like, I'm
Totally.
not willing to invest in it yet, but I want you to do it first that I can. It's backwards. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Did you ever find that? I know for myself, sometimes when I invest money in something, even psychologically, it helps me because I think to myself, well, I can ask for this amount of money easily because I just paid it to somebody else.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And it makes you believe in it so much more. It gives you a little bit
Yeah.
of skin in the game too. So, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. No, I totally hear you on all of that. So is this, I know you guys have said this even gives you more time with your family, and it gives you more time just to be around each other. Is there any other parts of your life that you'd say this is what makes building the business side of things worth it, because we see the repercussions in our life in this way?
Yeah, Karina and I were talking in the car the other day, and it was like, our life has changed a lot, but when people ask us, you're like, in what way has it changed? It's like, well, we'll put it this way: we can afford to go to Costco now. That makes us feel rich.
I love it. Costco's the best. Sometimes my wife and I will just go to Costco as like a date to get out of the house. It's so dorky, but I'm like, I don't even care. Like Costco is the absolute best. No, and I feel you there. And just the idea of I I mean, there is like a sense in which grocery store anxiety is a thing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Like
you're
just
telling me.
just going to buy food these days can be ridiculous. But then when you feel like
Yeah.
you're in a place where you're like, no, we have made this money, and we have
Yep.
this money to provide for our family, and
Yep.
we don't have to be so scared of spending our money on these basic human needs. You know what I'm saying by that? And then if you're like, hey, I'd really rather go to Costco than go to this other store that maybe I don't like their products as much, like you have that flexibility, and that goes a massive way. I love that you just said that. That's just like a perfect way to encapsulate the freedom, the financial freedom there.
Yes, I remember, a couple years ago, we would try to budget like $150 a week or whatever it was, maybe even 75 a week at one point in our
It
marriage.
was so small.
Yeah, it was so
Oh,
small, and I remember like seeing that the bill was $30 more, and I'd be sweating as I took that receipt out of the
totally.
printer. I'm like,
Understandably
oh,
so.
like where are we gonna make a sacrifice for this to be affordable?
Hmm.
And now just being able to, like just it's the little things, just grabbing. Oh, my kids want these puffs over here. They're a little
Yeah.
expensive, but our kids want these puffs. So just being able to
Hmm.
do that, it's the little things.
Yeah.
And this fall we worked really hard this year, so we're able to take a nice vacation for 7 nights instead of a little weekend trip, and we're able to
Love it.
even book a place big enough to take some of Karina's family with us.
I love it. Where you
Just
guys headed?
Gatlinburg or Pigeon
Nice.
Forge, yeah,
Wait,
Tennessee.
wait. Gatlinburg, Tennessee?
Yes, yes,
Is that in the mountains?
it is. Yeah,
I
Smoky
love it.
Mountains.
That is like the best place to go in the fall.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
My kids are so excited.
Are you going to
yeah,
be like in the mount like up in the mountains at all?
yeah. I think our the cabin we have it's a little bit. You have to definitely go up in the mountains. If you don't have 4-wheel drive, they recommend
Oh
maybe
yeah, you're up
don't
there
head this
then.
way. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing. My wife and I just went up there. I think it was like well, no, I think it was last fall. And it was like the best. It just fall over there is just so beautiful. You just see for
Yeah.
miles and miles. And yeah, that's so fun. I'm so excited for you guys. Okay, let me finish with this. I always love to ask people, especially in your shoes, because real life people are listening to this
Yeah.
and they may be in a position just like you guys were in. And so if there's anything that maybe overall, maybe we haven't touched on it yet, that you guys, I'd love to hear from both of you, what you would say as a kind of like a closing piece of advice to them, whatever it is. What would you say?
Go ahead.
Oh my. I would definitely say, I don't know, like take the first step and don't look back, because that's what we did. We were, kind of terrified and juggling with the thought of like, do we want to invest into our business even more? Whether it was through the business blueprint or something else. But we, we just took that step and we didn't look back. We were like, what if this doesn't? What if we do stay at this job long term? What if we, what if we stay? So I'm so glad that we don't have to know what if, because now we're here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think analysis paralysis is really a thing. You just like start analyzing everything and you freeze up and you don't know what to do. But I mean, that's where we were for so long. And I would just tell people this. There are a lot of people who like come to us and ask us, like, should we get this? Should we get that? Should we get this? And I think or like, what did you guys do? And photographers, I should say. And I always tell them, I can give you a lot of advice, but I always recommend the business blueprint to them, by the way. I always recommend that because I can tell you any of this stuff. And I mean, really, it's all going to be there. And I also think this too, which is why I kind of guide them towards the course, because I think that if you yourself don't think that your business is worth investing money into, then maybe you should reconsider having this business.
That's right.
Because I mean, I definitely don't think everyone's cut out to be an entrepreneur. And
Right.
I mean, yeah, if you don't think that you're worth investing in, and there's a lot of free resources out there, I understand that. But the biggest thing is like, A, when you're investing in something, it makes you that much more confident in it. And two, I mean, your time is really just invaluable. I mean, I can't even imagine how much time I would have spent gathering all the information that's in the business blueprint, like through free resources. Like it would have taken me so much time, and everything just exploded when we finally made that first step. Like I finally convinced myself that I had it all backwards, and we just needed to stop overanalyzing and roll the dice a little bit. So if you're thinking about buying the business blueprint, or spending money on a pitch deck, whatever it is, just do it. Like your business is worth being invested into, and if you don't think so, then I'd reconsider what your next move is going to be.
Wow. I have nothing to say to that. I'm just like, that is perfectly put. I could not agree more. Amen. Amen. I'm not going to laugh because my mic is going to go crazy. You guys, this is such a great conversation. I am floored, like truly floored at the story. I also just want to make sure you guys understand how wild your story is, and how like this kind of stuff does not just happen to every photographer out there. Like the transformation that you guys have had from where you were to where you are now is truly such a wild thing, and you guys should be really proud of your growth. And honestly, like, yeah, I'm just blown away. I'm just so blown away, you guys.
All glory to God.
Yeah, thank you, Christian the Christian. All glory to God.
Amen. Amen. Okay, you guys, tell us where we can find you, maybe online, whether it's your social media or your website.
Yeah, find us on Instagram, Goose and Rose Imagery. Our website is gooseandroseimagery.com. We're on Facebook. You can find us at any of those places. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to recommend why you should do the business blueprint.
I love it. We'll make sure and get those in the show notes so people can connect with you guys. You guys, thank you so much, Kenny, Karina, and what's your little one's name?
Her name is Quinn. She kind of has she has a different legal name, but
we call her Quinn, yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you for bringing Quinn. She did a great job, and she's just so quiet. And I love those moments where you just get to like snuggle them when they're so little. So enjoy that time of life.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you.